Test, test, test. Test. Hey, Shalom Israel, this is the FLINT scripture breakdown. FLINT Israelite scripture breakdown, ISUPK FLINT. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're going to get started in a moment, momentarily. Just get everything set up. Yeah, we got a couple stories we're gonna go over and a few topics to go over, man. And what we do here in the ISUPK, we teach that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the chosen people of the Lord, the actual indigenous people of the Most High, man. And we prove it with the Bible. You understand? And then we also go into the archaeology, man, which is on Mondays, man, when we had the history classes all over throughout Israel. You understand? Throughout, all over the planet, man. We have our Monday history class where you learn the archaeology. Where we go beyond the Bible. You understand? What we're gonna get into today is some very heavy topics, man. You know what I mean? The systematic racism of America. You understand? And black people, that's the first step that we gotta acknowledge right there, man, that we are not free. We are still slaves, man, in this place. And the Lord, our King, is going to deliver us out of this hellhole, man. And we're going to go into the Bible and prove so. And also, I got an article that I'm going to also bring out. And we're going to go and get into full depths on how this place, you understand, is wicked. And it is against the children of Israel. This place is literally, their face is set against the children of the Lord, man. We're going to go ahead and get into I have an article I'm going to go ahead and pull. Bear with me 1 second. Now this right here comes out of the skim, and this is talking about the systematic racism of America, right? The recent violence and deaths of Black Americans at the hands of police and others have once again pushed the U.S. to reckon with systemic racism that dates back to the founding of this country. So like the same problems that we're going through right now, man, it's gonna show, this article right here, what it's gonna do is show and prove, man, that this go all the way back to how this country was founded. You have to remember, man, this country was founded off racism. You know what I mean? When you read in this article, it says the recent violence and deaths of Black Americans at the hands of the police and others have once again pushed the U.S. to reckon with systemic racism. So like a systemic racism that dates back to the founding of this country. So the systemic racism that's against you, it's been against you in America since the founding of America. You understand? Since Christopher Columbus conquered America, guess what? They always had, you know what I mean, racism plotted and planted on you, man, years beforehand. Even up still to this day. All right? They commit violence against you, man. You know what I mean? The oppressor been doing this since the founding of this country. And guess what? That's in the Bible. And we're going to pull that in the scriptures, man. We're going to go in the book. Let's get first scripture I want to grab. I want to get Obadiah. Let's get Obadiah 1 and 10. All right? Because that specifically say, man, the recent violence of Black Americans at the hands of the police, you understand, that dates back all the way to the founding of this country and how this country was founded upon, right? Violence against the children of Israel, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And guess what? This right here, let's go to Obadiah, the book of Obadiah 1 and 10. And this says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You understand? The Lord, man, looking at this, and this is what the oppressor has to pay for. He has to pay for the violence that he has done to the Lord's chosen people. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Eric Gardner. You know what I mean? Mike Brown. Philando Castile. Trayvon Martin. You understand? Tamir Rice. These brothers right here was killed by their oppressor, man, at the hands of police. These brothers was violently murdered, violently killed, man. You understand? And the Lord say He's gonna give them recompense. He's gonna make them pay for this, man. The Lord says this right here in the Bible. All right. And it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Meaning what? You're gonna be shameful for this thing once you find out that you've been murdering God's chosen people. You know what I mean? You're going to find out these Black people that you've been oppressing and having systemic racism against, the Lord is going to destroy you for that. You're going to find out, man, that these people that you've been harming all along was God's chosen people. This was His children that you were doing this to. This was His children that you had bywords against. This was His children that you committed all these violence against, man. And you're going to be very shameful. You understand? When our King Yahushua returns, you understand, and he read out them judgments, you're going to be in so much shame for killing and having so much bloodshed on your hands. The oppressor is going to have, you know what I mean? He's going to be so shameful for all the bloodshed that he has caused the children of Israel. And he's going to find out, man, the harsh way. And he's going to be cut off, because that's what the scriptures say. And it says, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Not for a little bit of time for this. You know what I mean? Not for a century. The Lord is going to permanently means to cut off. You're gonna be cut off forever, permanent. The oppressor, man, is gonna get cut off by God for the violence against his brother Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And it says this also: but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother and the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. And guess what? That's what your oppressor do right now, man. In our destruction, they look at us and tell us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. You know what I mean? They look at us and they tell us, man, you know what I mean? They make it seem like it's an even playing field. You know what I mean? They play with your mind and play mind games as if it's your fault why you in the predicaments that you in, man. You understand? When really this country was founded on oppressing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This country was founded on oppressing the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? So the Lord gonna look at him like this, man. Okay? I just wanted to pull that just to show and prove to you, man, that this right here is happening right now. Okay? We're gonna go ahead and get some more of the article. It says this: with being upfront about the fact that systemic racism is so expansive and deep-rooted that no guide will be able to accurately depict the hundred of years of injustice it's caused black people in the U.S. But let's start by getting on the same page about what defines systemic racism. It refers to systems and practices that create and maintain racial inequality. All right, so these are actual practices and systems put together, man, to be against you. This is what America is built off of, man. This so-called land is the home of the free. You know what I'm saying? Home of the brave, land of the free. It's some silly quote that they say. And when really that is a lie, man. That's why we call the oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You understand? Because guess what? They built a system plotting against you, black man, Hispanic, and First Nation people, man. You understand? They put in this systemic racism literally against you. And this goes back thousands of years, man. Thousands of years. Let me show you something in the scripture where it shows you that they plotted on you, man. They plotted on you years ago. We're going to go to Judith. We're going to go into the Apocrypha. We're going to get Judith 5:20. Right? This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20. And it says this: now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, meaning what? If there be any discrepancy, if there be any type of, you know what I mean, errors. You understand what errors is, right? If there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, meaning what? That's the error that they talking about. Sinning against our God, sinning against our power, sinning against the very thing what makes us strong, right? You know what I mean? What's a sin to us? Eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Celebrating Christmas, birthdays, and Easters. You understand? Doing things that we're not supposed to do, that's not in our culture. All right? He said, if we find any error, or if we sinning against our God, and let us consider that this shall be their ruin. This is how they understood how to beat the children of Israel. This is how the heathens, the oppressors, the Gentiles, this is how they understood, man, how to destroy the Israelites, how to defeat them. They understood that if they can get us to sin and disobey the Lord, that right there would destroy them alone. And then we'll be able to rule over them, right? Because it says this: let us consider that this shall be their ruin. It's going to ruin them if they sin against their God. If we can get them to sin against their Lord, this right here is going to ruin them, and this is going to get them destroyed. This is how we defeat the Israelites. This is what the so-called Caucasian knows about you. This is what the so-called East Indians know about you. This is what the so-called Africans know about you. All these other nations that are heathens, they understand that if they can get the children of Israel to sin against their God, that is going to destroy them alone, man. That right there is going to destroy them and tear them absolutely apart. All right? And it says this also, let us go up and we shall overcome them. Meaning what? If we can get them to sin against their God, we can actually go up against them and defeat them in anything. If we can get them, man, to eat some pork, we can kill them and get away with it in all type of evil. We can do all type of manners of evil to them. You know what I mean? If we can get them to celebrate birthdays and celebrate false gods and do things against God, very contrary to the Lord, to their power, guess what? We can go up against them, man. We can do whatever the hell we want to do to them. That's what your oppressor understand about you, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian. That's what they understand about you, right? And then let's get some more. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, meaning what? If they not sinning against their power and they actually following the laws and the statutes and the commandments that the Lord has gave them, their power gave them, they follow those rules and his instructions, this is what they also know. Let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them. They understand this. This is what this means, right? Don't mess with them children of Israel, man. Don't mess with the Israelites if they following the Lord, man. If they following their power in the Most High, the last thing you want to do is mess with them, man. Because guess what? This is also what they understand. Lest their Lord defend them and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. Meaning this, man. We will get embarrassed trying to go up against the children of God if they're following the Most High. If they following the Most High, man, don't even try to go to war with them. Don't even think about that, man. Because guess what? Their Lord is going to defend them, and we are going to become a reproach. The heathens know they're going to become a reproach for the whole world. They're going to get embarrassed, and guess what? The whole world going to see them get embarrassed. They understand that right there. That's what they know about you. You understand? And that goes all the way back to that in the article when it's talking about systemic racism, as if, you know what I'm saying, they put systems together to destroy you, man. They do things on purpose, man. Like they put pork in items, man, that shouldn't have pork in. Like they put pork in nacho cheese Doritos. They put pork in cheese, what's that? What you call that? Cheetos. You understand? They put pork in certain toothpastes. They put pork in jelly. You understand? And gummy worms and your candy and all that. They do that on purpose, man, to make you sin against your God. You understand? They make you eat pork on purpose. They put pork in things and items that shouldn't even have no pork in them. You understand? They have put pork on a beef sausage and use pork casing just to do that. This is how you know this is the oppressor. This is hell that you are in right now, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. You understand? This is what we have to go against right here and right now. It's systemic racism going on, man. You understand? And it was put in place in so much that the Bible even speaks about this. Right? So let's go back to the article. I'm going to go back to the article. With being upfront about the fact that systemic racism is so expansive and deep-rooted that no God will be able to accurately depict the hundreds of years of injustice it caused black people in the U.S. Now, how could that ever be a coincidence? You understand? Black man, how could you even blame yourself for all the hell that you're going through when the oppressor is doing this on purpose? Been doing this for over hundreds of years in America against you. So how can you not understand that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man? That right there, you should definitely understand right there, because he puts systemic systems literally in place for you to fail in America, and for you to never rise in this place. It was never intended for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to rise over here in America, man. They never intended or wanted that for us. So what the hell is a vote going to do for you, black man? What the hell is a political vote going to do for you? It's not going to do a goddamn thing, man. It's not going to do anything for you, because guess what? They put systems in place for you to fail, man. They put systems literally in place for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to fail. That right there is true. All right? This right here is coming right out of this article. Okay? But let's start by getting on the same page about what defines systemic racism. Now they're about to go into what defines systemic racism, right? And it says this: it refers to systems and practices that create and maintain racial inequality. Even though slavery was officially abolished in the 1860s, racism and discrimination have continued to persist throughout nearly every facet of American life, man. You understand what that means right there? The whole American system literally was put together to be against the children of God. You understand? You can take that all the way back to the Council of Nicaea. You can take that all the way back to there, man. Because they always established a way on how to get on top of the Lord's chosen people. They always try to put in place plots, systems, practices for them to stay on top above us. You understand? And we're going to show and prove that. Going to go into the scriptures. We're going to get, let's see. Let's get the book of Psalms. We're going to get the Psalms. We're going to get the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 3. We're going to start at verse 3, right? This is what you have to understand. What we just read in that article, what you about to see is that being displayed out in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? In the scriptures, man. You're going to know that this right here is the Lord, man. You're going to understand what this is, what is against you, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. You understand? You're going to understand why it's so hard for a black, Hispanic, or First Nations person, you know what I'm saying, in America. All right? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. That right there is let alone what we just read in that article, man. They have taken crafty counsel, man. That crafty counsel put what? They put systems together and practices together for you to just naturally sin against the Most High. Just naturally sin against our power, man. You understand? It puts systems in order for us to always fail, man, when it comes, you know what I'm saying, to trying to rebuild and trying to get black people together and Hispanics together and Native, and to get the 12 tribes of Israel together. They made it their business to try to make that fall, man. The heathens. Who am I talking about? Your so-called oppressor. Okay? The Arabs, East Indians, all these heathens, all these Gentile nations that's outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, they all literally plot and take crafty counsel against you, man. Against you, black, Hispanic, and First Nations people, man. All right? They have taken crafty counsel against our people and consorted against thy hidden ones. And who are those hidden ones? Those are the 12 tribes of Israel. We are those hidden ones. You understand? We hidden right here in the hell, in the bottoms of hell in America, man. In the ghettos, in the barrios, you know what I mean? In the projects, in the hood, all over the earth, man. We in the hood, we in the lowest of the low. We the hidden ones that the Lord is talking about, man. And they against the hidden ones. They against you that's living in the hood. You know what I mean? They look and look at your zip code and determine whether you are good or bad. They have so many systems against you, man, that is not even funny. So how in the hell as a black man you can say that your oppressor, not all of them is bad? You understand? How the hell can you as a Hispanic say, you know, the oppressor, you know what I mean, he's not bad or he's not unjust? When the Hispanics literally right now are in cages on the border. They literally in chattel slavery, man. They literally locked up in cages against their will because of the goddamn devil. The oppressor is so much of a devil, man. He put our brothers and our sisters in cages, man, on the borders. Now you tell me what the hell type of world we living in right now, man. You understand? And it says this also. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name, let's not even skip that right there. It says, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. This right here is the job of the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? The people that oppress you, they make it their business, man, to reign over you. They make it their business for you not to ever know who you really are according to the Bible. How special you really are to the Most High. And how much he's not special to the Lord, man. They make it known, man, that they are against you. So guess what? The Israelites will never rise up. The Israelites, man, to lose their customs. They'll never be able to get away back to the Lord, man. That's why you have to thank Christ, man. You got to thank Christ, man, because he died. He gave his life, man, for us to get away back to the Most High, man. You understand? You got to definitely, man. This is why this right here, and this truth in the ISUBK, this what makes it all worth it, man, because Christ gave us a leeway back to the Lord, man. He gave us a little small leeway back to the Most High, man, so we can be his people again. That's why it's evident for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, to come out of that hell, man. Come out of American philosophies. You know what I'm saying? Put the birthdays and the Christmases and the Thanksgivings and the Easters and all of that bull crap, throw it out of the garbage, throw it in the garbage, man. That's the times we're going to have to live in. That's what our future is coming to, man. You understand? Lest the Lord is going to keep killing us, man. Lest the Lord gonna keep killing you when you celebrating your birthday. Pookie and Ray Ray birthday party is gonna get shot up. Pookie and Ray Ray gonna get shot up out of that club. Once he come out of the club, man, from the strip club on celebrating the birthday, Pookie and Ray Ray gonna get shot, man. Because they don't want to give that up. That's what it's gonna come to, and that's what it's gonna take, man, for the children of Israel to really wake up to what's really being said, man. The real truth, man, according to the Bible. You understand? That's what the Lord is waiting on. He's waiting for us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to wake up out of this slumber, man, and come back to him the way that Christ put it down. The way that Christ instructed, man. You understand? We're going to get some more on this scripture. All right. And it says, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And that's what they damn near had done when they put us in slavery over here in America, man. They almost made it as though, you know what I mean, we were no nation. We were just slaves, you know. And the real true meaning about this, man, 400 years of us being here in slavery, we went from being Negroes, niggers, to Afro Americans. Went from being Negroes to Afro Americans, and then somehow now we African American. You understand? And we was giving each other all these names, chemetics, and all this bull crap and nonsense. We was giving all of our, you know what I'm saying, ourselves to Egyptology, you know what I mean, and the Arabs religion, and trying to become Muslim and be like the Arabs. That right there shows, man, that they never wanted you to know that you was an Israelite. You understand? This right here proves and show that your oppressor never wanted you to ever wake up to who you really are, man. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. In the ghettos. You Negroes, you Bloods, you Crips, man. Y'all are Israelites, man. You understand? You GDs out there. You Vice Lords out there. You gang members. Y'all are Israelites. That's the bloodline that y'all descend from. Y'all descend from directly from the bloodline of the children of Israel, man. You understand? And it's very imperative that you come back to your laws and you come back to the statutes of the Lord, man, lest you gonna die out here in this earth. And you're gonna keep dying out there in that world, man. You understand? That's what it's coming to right now. All right? We're going to definitely get some more, man. Let's get some more on that. And it says this: but they have consulted together with one consent. Meaning what? They all came together on one accord against you. All right? These heathen nations all came together. They all came into a council. And they all came into how to plot to destroy the children of Israel. The modern time Israelites is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You understand? And your oppressor and many heathen nations, man, guess what? They plotted against you with one consent, man. And that one consent was to destroy the children of Israel. Now we're going to get into some more. And it says this right here: they are confederate against thee. Now I was about to tell you what nations literally are confederate against the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and First Nations people, man. You understand? It's about to tell you what nations are against you. If you're a so-called black man, if you're a so-called Hispanic man, if you're a so-called First Nations people, natives, these people right here, what I'm about to name in this Bible right now, they are against you. All right? We're going to go ahead and get it. The tabernacles of Edom. Who is Edom? Edom is the so-called Caucasian man. You understand? That's who Edom is according to the Bible. That is his real race. Esau, Edom, Idumea. All right? Edom, that's who is against you. So-called Caucasian. The oppressor, the one that put you in slavery, and one that reigned over you and took everything and stripped you literally out of everything, man. And guess who else against you? And the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites is against the chosen people of the Lord. And who are the Ishmaelites? Those are your today's Arabs. Arabs is against you, man. Okay, the next time you go to the store, next time you go into a gas station, you want to chop it up with an Arab and call him my baby, you know what I mean, and say Habibi like he your brother, just know that he really is against you. He really hates you, man. And guess what? He's sucking the blood out of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How is he doing it? Because somehow he comes into a black neighborhood, and guess what? He put his businesses and established his gas stations. And guess who you giving your money to? Now guess who you gotta pay gas to get gas now? You gotta go to an Arab. These Arabs is all over in your neighborhoods, all up in your house. They in your house, man, and guess what they doing? They sucking you dry, man. They getting all of the money out of you, man. They getting all of the wealth They sucking all of the wealth out of the black communities because they have all the gas stations in the black community. They allowed to have a gas station and run a business in your communities, man. Let that sink in, man. Let that sink in for a second. And you tell me and determine, man, whether they are against you or not. They absolutely 100% against you, man. Okay? You got Arabs all over in your community, man, acting like they better than you. They living like they way much more larger than you, man. And guess what? They was in one consent against you. They confederate against you, just like the so-called oppressor is a confederate against you. Okay? Let's get some more. Of Moab. Moab is the so-called Chinese. Moab don't like black people. The Chinese people don't like black people, man. They despise black people. You understand? What happens when you go into them Asian shops and you go into the Asian beauty supply, man? You saw what they did to the sister that went in there. They accused her of stealing and she stole nothing. You know what they did to her in there? They beat her. You know what I mean? They beat her. They locked the door and beat her as if, you know what I mean, she was just some criminal. But the point in the picture that I'm really bringing upon you is that they hate you, man. They hate you as much as your so-called Caucasian man that put you in slavery. They hate you just as much as he hates you. And so does Arabs. They hate you as well. Oh, let's get some more. We're not done. And it says this. And the Hagarenes. The Hagarenes is who? African nations. Yeah, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. I got some news. And I know you all gonna hate me when I say this, but you ain't no African. Yeah, that's right. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, you so-called black people. Y'all not Africans, man. Okay? Y'all not Africans. Y'all not African at all. In fact, Africans hate your guts. If you was African, you know how big Africa is. Africa got 55 different countries and all over there. You don't even know what hell you from. What part of Africa you from? Because you're not Africa, you're not African anyway. You understand? If you know any history from the Babylon of Timbuktu, it says what? That the children of Israel fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution. Alright? Fleeing Roman persecution is what happened. And that's why you get the term, you know, niggas sold niggas into slavery. No. Negroes didn't sell Negroes into slavery. That don't even make no damn sense. Alright? African nations sold us into slavery, man. Africans sold us to these nations. And guess what? They was all in a council against you as well. Africans, Hagarenes, right? Let's get some more. Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon. Ammon is against you. Ammon is the so-called Japanese and Koreans. They hate your guts too. Yeah, I know. Now this right here, now you have to think, what type of dream that Martin Luther King had for everybody to come together? No, that'll never work, man. These nations literally are your enemies. According to the Bible, according to the Lord, these nations are not to be played with. These ain't some nation of people that you can call your friends, your brothers, none of that. It ain't none of that, man. You understand? And they plotted so much and for you to never know this information, man. And never for you to never know who you are according to the Bible. They plotted all the way against you. You understand? The so-called Japanese is against you, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. All right? Let's get some more. And it says this. And Amalek. Who is the Amalek? Who is Amalek? Amalek, according to the Bible, is the so-called fake Jewish man. The imposter. The ones that say that they you, man. The ones that claim that they are you, and guess what? They own diamond districts. They own the industry, the music industry, movie industry, Hollywood. You know what I mean? And guess what they claim to be? They claim to be the children of Israel. So-called Jewish, man, the fake Jews that we call them. Because none of these prophecies that's in the Bible fits them. None of these prophecies in the Bible say that they are us. You understand? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's get Revelations 2 and 9. This to show and prove to you, man, that the Lord understands who his children is, man. In Revelations 2 and 9, it says this. It says, I know thy works and tribulation. Meaning what? The Lord know the works of the children of Israel. He know how hard we working, man, in this hellhole that we in. He know how hard we working to keep our lights on and keep our gas cut on and keep our house. You know how hard we gotta work. You understand? And tribulation and poverty. He know that the mass poverty, you know what I mean, of his people. That's black people. If you look at who's in poverty the most, you know who you're gonna find? If you look at who's in poverty the most, statistically, you're gonna find that that's black people, minorities, Hispanics, First Nations people. You're gonna find those people at the very bottom. So the Lord understand this is who the Lord talking to, the ones that are in that poverty. The nations of that poverty. And you know you're going to find black people in poverty. You don't believe me? Go look at your average black neighborhood. Go look at the black neighborhoods and you tell me whether they, you know what I'm saying, living deliciously in life, or are they in poverty, or are they in struggle, man. You understand? Let's get some more. And it says this. But thou art rich. The Lord say, but y'all are rich because guess what? We God's chosen people. The Lord, you know what I'm saying? The Most High is our Father. You know what I mean? We have an inheritance as given, and we have a promise given unto us, man. So guess what? The Lord know that we are rich because that's what's coming in our future, man. In our future, man, in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be many mansions, man. It's going to be many mansions. The streets going to be bathed with gold, man. You understand? And that right there is something absolutely outstanding. All right? And it says this also. And I know the blasphemy of them which say that they are Jews. The Lord also know that there's people on this earth that claim to be Jews. That claim, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, be from Israel. That's in Israel over there right now. So-called Jewish people. Amalek. That's what the Lord talking about, Amalek right here. Alright? And he said, the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. Meaning that is some blasphemy. You blaspheming the Lord, man, when you putting a claim that you the real Jews and you not. The Lord knows the pump fakers out here. Okay? And it says this, but are the synagogue of Satan. Meaning what? They are the devil that the Bible speaks of, man, and they dwell in synagogues. The fake Jewish man, that's where he dwells, in synagogues, man. You understand? So to go back to the scriptures, we go back in Psalms 83, right? And it says, in Amalek, the Philistines were the inhabitants of Tyre. All right, meaning this right here. Basically, all these nations, man, they all was set against you for you to fail. As a black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian, they work hard to make sure that you sin against your Lord. They work hard to put systems in order, man, for you to never ever get on top. For you to never ever receive anything and to drain you, man. You understand? Let's go ahead and get some more in the article. And it says this. Racism and discrimination have continued to persist throughout nearly every fact of American life. In the years and decades immediately following the end of slavery. It says immediately following the end of slavery, man. Meaning what? It ain't never changed. Even when they did let the chains off your neck, they already understood that you were destroyed. They already destroyed you. That's like beating you to a pulp for many years and just taking the chain off your neck, training you like you some pet animal. They treated blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians like dogs, man. You understand? And trained them to be vile and utterly disgusting to the Lord. You know what I mean? And it says this: certain policies sanction discrimination against black people, probably none more so than Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws was established literally against black people to you know what I'm saying, put segregation in places to separate everything. But believe it or not, that's the way that the Lord, that's where we should have stayed at, man. We should have stayed segregated against the oppressor. Okay? That's what you got to understand and realize right there. Segregation was not the worst thing that happened to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Segregation actually gave us the you know what I'm saying, the opportunity for us to build from scratch and build something wonderful, man, and do something absolutely outstanding for black and stand up for black people. Us being segregated against our oppressor, man, will force black love in the black community, man. They'll force us to be together and figure out our problems and our issues, man. But guess what? We can't do this thing without the Bible. We can't do this thing right here and come together without putting the Lord in place. And the only way you're going to be able to do that correctly is in the ISUPK. Is in the truth, man. From the beginning, how the Lord always sanctioned it, this is the way, man. This is the way how to get black people in order. People always talk about how good our brotherhood is, man, and they never think, wow, it's the Bible. It's the Lord, man. The Lord put it this way. Lord working with the children of Israel, man. You understand? So let's go ahead and let's get a scripture on that. Let's get I'm gonna get Ecclesia. Let's get Salakia. Bear with me. Just bear with me 1 second. Just getting the scripture. So I'm gonna get the one scripture. Bear with me. We're gonna get Isaiah 30:1, Salakia. Alright. Let's get the book Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. And it says this: woe unto the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. Alright. I know we kind of slowed it down and got off a little bit, but this right here, what we have to understand, man, even as black people, when we do come together, okay, you gotta put the Lord's system down in place. It can't be done no other way, because guess what? We are direct descendants of the children of Israel. So you know what we have to do? We have to follow the Lord, man. We command it and follow the Lord, man. Your life is not your own. You were bought with a price, man. If you're an Israelite, you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, First Nation people, man. Your life was bought for a price, man, by the Lord, man. You know what you got to do? You got to serve the Most High. You know what it means to serve the Most High? You know how you become a good servant? First thing you need to start off by doing, man, is letting them cigarettes go. Let that weed go, man. You understand? Throw that in the garbage. Let them hoes go away. You know what I mean? Get your mind right. Renew your mind. Renew your spirit. As to what you really got to do, man. People make it seem as if it's just impossible to follow the Lord, man. What is so hard about doing what the Lord asks you to do? What's so hard about following his instructions and following rules, man? It ain't that, man. You just don't want to fight your wicked, nasty lust, man. You don't want to change. That's what you're going to have to do. That's what it requires, man, for us to change. And you know what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you know what we need most? It's change. That's how we're going to get our nation saved and rebuild our nation. We got to change ourselves. We got to change our minds, man. We got to renew our minds. We got to put the law in our inward parts. Meaning what? We got to study the law. We got to not only study the law, we have to live it. We got to follow the commandments of the Lord, man, that the Lord gave us, so the Most High can be with us. You understand? And we stand strong and mighty against everybody in the planet Earth. You understand? And it says this: woe unto the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. Can't have no counsel, man, and think that it's going to go straight, and you don't consider the Lord. You don't believe me? Look at the Black Panthers and look how far they got, man. They didn't consider the Most High, and therefore they failed. Look at Martin Luther King and what the hell he was doing. He definitely did not have the Lord and take heed to the Most High, and guess what? He failed, and he got killed doing it. You understand? And he further put black people in destruction, man, by joining us hand in hand with the very people that hung us on trees and raped us, killed us, robbed us, and destroyed us, man, over centuries. You understand? And it says this: and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. Like, you can't cover yourselves with guns, you know what I mean, and with drugs and money, and thinking that you got some power, man, and you ain't considering the Lord, man. There's a lot of people out here in this world. There's a lot of Jakes out here in this world that got guns and drugs and money. And they feel that that thing right there is going to save them from the horrors that's coming to them, man. That's not going to give you a safe covering. You can't go against the Most High. You know what I mean? You can't have no covering, you know what I'm saying, and it's not of the Lord. Meaning what? You can't be no drug dealer. You can't be no witch. You can't be no hitman. You're not allowed to be out here killing your brothers and doing things like that. You know? You're not allowed to be pimping women and pimping the you know what I'm saying, doing that, man. You're not allowed to do none of that stuff. That's against the Lord. Lord gonna make sure you get destroyed, man. The Lord gonna put you to death for that, man. You understand? And it says this: that they may add sin to sin. That's all you're gonna do, man. That they may add sin to sin. You know what that means right there? You're gonna be adding, you know, you're gonna be in there, you're gonna be smoking weed, on top of smoking weed, messing with heathen women. On top of that, you sniffing cocaine. On top of that, buying whores. On top of that, you know what I'm saying, you selling dope. On top of that, you know, you just adding sin to sin. You about to go celebrate a birthday at the strip club. You know what I mean? It's just all bad. All right? All right, let's get back on topic, man. Let's get back to this article right here. And this is where we're going to go. we're gonna go right here to housing discrimination, right? And it says this: home ownership can be a significant way to build wealth in the U.S., but Black Americans have long been left out first because they weren't legally allowed to own property as enslaved people. So guess what? Black people, you know what I mean? How could you blame yourself for the conditions that you in where you weren't even given the opportunity to be allowed to own a home or have ownership of homes in America? How the hell can you blame yourself for that? You know what I mean? Today you're going to find out that your oppressor is the devil, man. He the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You understand? It also says this: and later, because of a series of federal and local policies, included segregated federal housing projects and redlining. All right? Housing projects was systemically put for Black people. These projects that you see, when you see brothers saying, yeah, I'm from the projects over here. You see them projects over there in Harlem. You see the projects over here in Detroit. You see the projects all over the earth, man. You understand? Those the ghettos that, guess what? That was established for Black people. And then it says in redlining. We're going to look up what redlining means, right? We'll get the definition of redlining. Redlining is this: refuse a loan or insurance to someone because they live in an area deemed to be proof financial risk. And that right there, if that don't sound like Black people all the way, man, I don't know what the hell this talking about. We might as well not even have this conversation right here. If you can't understand that this right here is Black talk right here, these Black folk right here, you understand? Redlining always happen to Black folks. You know what I mean? Ask your grandmas, ask your aunties, ask your older siblings. You know what I mean? Redlining, that's something that's common amongst the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, man. You understand? Let's get back to the article, right? It says this: redlining is a practice that started in the 1930s to determine which neighborhoods were worthy of mortgage loans. Neighborhoods that were considered a higher credit risk were outlined in red. You understand? So they judge things. This was a practice right here. Judging, you know what I'm saying, basically your area code or where you live, whether or not you can get approved for a loan. You understand? That was something that's against Black people now. You understand? That's against Black people right now. Okay? And it says this right here: guess who mostly lived in those neighborhoods? The practice kept Black people from being able to buy homes, and it wasn't banned until the 1960s. Even though it was banned in the 1960s, this problem still was going on. You know what I mean? Like, you can just tell, man. Look at the centuries. Look at the decades of the trauma. Look at the decades of systems getting put and planned against you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. How could you ever come together? How could you ever come along, you know what I'm saying, and join yourselves unto a people that set out fully blown destroy your people, man? Systemically. You know what I mean? Destroying your people. How could you say in your mind and your heart and your soul that you can trust people that does that? You understand? Let me give you some clear direction on what the Lord say, man. I'm going to show you with some clear direction on what the Lord say when it comes to these people, man. This is what it says right here. Go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. It says this. It says to never trust thine enemy. All right? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, I got news for you, man. The oppressor is your goddamn enemy. All right? He's your enemy. He ain't your friend. He ain't somebody that you can be cool with. He is your enemy. Right? That's who the oppressor is. He is your enemy. Okay? And for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. Meaning this, one day iron is going to rust and you're going to see clearly, you know what I'm saying, the rust when it comes to that iron. The iron ain't going to look so good and nice. When you see it start getting rusty, that's when you're going to see the iron for what it really is. The same thing contrary to the so-called oppressor, the Caucasian. You understand? You're going to think that he's all cool and nice because he talks smooth words to you. And he got a nice demeanor. You know what I mean? You think he's soft-spoken. You know what I mean? With white teeth, man, that bastard is going to turn on you. You're going to see the iron. You're going to see the iron rusted in him. You're going to see who he really is. He get rusty on you. You're going to see that he planned and plot against you to overtake you, man. That is his whole plot. You understand? All right. That's what you gotta know, man. Never to trust your enemy. Your enemy, man, his kids and his generations, he's teaching his kids and his generation to how to just completely destroy yours over and over and over and over. Just got a system plan, just all the way in the system. All they gotta do is follow that system and they're gonna be on top of you, man. Unless you follow your power. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get victorious in your Lord. You know what I mean? Unless you take upon yourself to change. All right? Start off with you. Okay? Let's get some more. Now it says this right here. In 2019, black home ownership fell to a record low since the census that began keeping track. At one point that year, the home ownership rate among white people was 73% compared to 40% among black people. One study, do you see, you know what I'm saying, do you see the levels of how they much more on top of you? Because of the systems they put in place. Because they put the racism, y'all telling us don't fight racism with racism, but guess what? That works. And here, man, we are total black supremacists, man. Black supremacy is the only way to fight this, man. You understand? Think about this. Because when you trying to be equal and you trying to join them and want to be like them, you come up with the race of home ownerships. Guess what? White people was 73% compared to 40% among black people. That's what you get. They just get right above you, man. Because you don't love your goddamn selves. You don't love your own people. You understand? One study from 2018 found that 3 out of 4 neighborhoods that were redlined decades ago are low to moderate income today. You understand? And more likely to be made up of minority residents. You understand? Like, you gotta think, man, all these plots and all these things, man, was plotted against you thousands of years ago. All right? Esau not gonna tell you straight up, you know, that you the children of Israel, and that's why he gotta hate you, and that's why he gotta do all these sadistic things. You know what I mean? It's so much. and he put in place against a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. Think about Planned Parenthood, man. You know what I'm saying? Think about, you know what I mean, the destruction that they put. If you ever want to hide something from a nigga, you put it in the book. That's what they put a quote in, right? And that's absolutely true. Look at all the information that they rob you out of, man. Look at the thing that they blind you, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? They blind you with this right here, Christianity. They blind you with that. They smoke screen black people with Christianity. Like, think about that, man. They Christians, and guess what? You learning it in a slave way. You know what I mean? Black Christianity was invented for slaves, man. That black Christianity of us loving everybody and love and nothing else, that was invented for slaves so they won't overreact. So slaves could stay in their place. So slaves will never even put a thought in their mind and their mentality to ever go against their goddamn oppressor one day. You understand? Okay? Black Christianity and white Christianity ain't the same. Alright? And General Muhammad brought out an excellent example on Monday how, you know what I mean, black Christianity and white Christianity ain't the same. Because you know what that white woman did? You know what she prayed for? And she was a Christian. You understand? She celebrated Easter like Christians do. But you know what she prayed for over there in that Ukraine? She was a white Christian in the Ukraine. You know what her prayer was? You understand? You have to understand this. You know, those Russian soldiers came in and killed her family, killed her brother, killed her mother, killed her children. You understand? You know what her prayer was? They said, what is going to be your prayer? That's what the interview said to her. And she said, my prayer is that the war ends and that Putin is dead and the Russian soldiers are dead. And she's a Christian. She a Christian. What type of Christian are you? And she was a Christian woman, man. You understand? A Christian Caucasian said that right there. You understand? Now you think about that the next time you see us go up on them streets, man. And we call our oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of. And the things that, you know what I'm saying, are justice. You think about that, man, when the UPK come out there on the streets and they talk about our justice. You know what I'm saying? And the things that's happening to us. And what about our pride? And us being a Jew, man, from the 12 tribes of Israel. What about our justice? You understand? When we go out there and we speak them words, man, you better listen. And you better thank the Lord, man, that the Lord waking up his prophets. You understand? And with that being said, man, we're going to go ahead and close out the Flint scripture breakdown. We're going to have it popping every single Thursday. All right, I'm going to read these. I'm going to read the security announcements. And also, I'm going to read these security announcements. Just like it, bear with me. All right. It's the ISUPK security announcements. We got the ISUPK start out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3 and 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming Holy Convocation, we got the Feast of First Fruits, which is going to be, it's count 50 days, but we're going to celebrate the 50th day, which is going to be on a Sunday, June 12th, 2022. All right? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and salute. I'm going to say the prayers. Mayu, Rapunakal Dum, which means to face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Laba'a, Ratazak, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal, Rabon, Wasalakanawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Wala'at, Naya'anawa, Banasanawa, Abor, Hawashanawa, Bayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wapa, Hawa, La'awalami, Aman. Lord's Prayer in English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. All right. I'm going to do Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya, Ahahaya, Ma'ayah, Yaba'a, Azariah, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Asha, Shemaiah, Wa'abataza, Ayathan, Lamawa, Regaka, Ayanawa, Shemaka, Hana, La'a, Yanawa, Wala'a, Yayashur, Shalomar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemaka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Ayah, Yamyaka, Yawama, Hashemash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayawak, Mayayana, Yahweh, Yashamaka, Makara, Yashamar, Apnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabu'aka, Ma'atha, Wa'ai, our love. Psalm 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yahshua shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh thy keeper. Yahweh thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. This time forth and even forevermore. All right, Psalm. All right, men of Israel, Manu Shabbat, Maju, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Matah, dismiss.